Everyone uses the internet. I do too. Everyone speaks about the internet. I do too. On such a topic, the risk of being banal is rather high. I have decided to run this risk, that the internet is a democratic instrument. Taken to the letter, this statement is...
Europa, século XII. O Papa Gregório XI resolveu fundar um tribunal. Um tribunal que viria a ser difamado por séculos. O Tribunal da Inquisição.
Nation autonomy. Venice is a republic. It jealously guards its control over episcopal nominations within its land empire. These are usually in the hands of the families of the ruling Venetian patriciate, and it simply doesn't want to be dominated by Rome. On the other hand, of course, Rome is alarmed by the spread of heresy within Venice's land empire, and it wants quick action against the heretic.
At 60 years of age, Bishop Carafa is promoted to the rank of cardinal. After the Pope, Carafa holds the most powerful position in the Catholic Church, and the Church desperately needs his help. In less than 20 years, the Protestant Reformation has converted much of Europe. Carafa convinces Pope Paul III that it is critical to stamp out the Protestant heresy. He offers the new pontiff a solution: an inquisition to eliminate heretics not in France or Spain, but at home in Rome and throughout the Italian peninsula.
And this is an extraordinarily important development. For the first time, you find institutionalized inquisition. For the first time in the 16th century, the Holy See created a body for this purpose as one of the secretariats assisting the Pope.
It was formed, was never, of course, fully under the control of Rome. Rome appointed the Venetian Inquisitor, usually from people suggested from the Republic, but the Venetian Inquisition really remained firmly under the control of Venice's own patriciate.
Venice, 1546. The long arm of the Roman Inquisition has created a climate of fear in the northern port city. Those who oppose the doctrines of the Church are hunted down and silenced. In Venice, the hub of European publishing and bookselling, this crackdown drives the trade of banned literature deep underground. But illicit books still make their way into Venice from Northern Europe.
It was much easier for the Church to keep control of theology when books were extraordinarily costly, and the only people who could afford to have many of them were the churches and monasteries. As soon as the printing press made the pocketbook available to anybody with a couple of coins, it was much, much more difficult to keep the lid on.
This new media had emerged, spewing out tens of thousands of books of all kinds, including vernacular translations of scripture and stories of the saints and law books and other kinds of treatises and theological works and so on, without any kind of limitation.
Mas o que realmente faço?
Sachen mehr anschauen zu können, als ich es tue.
O Cardeal folheia, nesse momento, o primeiro índice impresso dos livros proibidos. Dentre a listagem de autores é possível encontrar nomes relevantes, como o de Martinho Lutero. Centenas de milhares de atas e processos da Inquisição estão armazenadas aqui. Elas documentam os procedimentos discutíveis de uma instituição criada para preservar o ensino do cristianismo. Estas atas são as testemunhas silenciosas de julgamentos dramáticos e injustos, regras de censura questionáveis e de perseguição a pessoas com ideologias diferentes. Ata do processo de Giordano Bruno. Por pregar a infinidade do universo, o monge dominicano foi condenado à tortura até a morte. Julgamento injusto mais famoso. Galileu Galilei foi forçado a negar a sua convicção de que a Terra girava em torno do Sol. Em 1992 ocorreu a retratação papal, ou seja, 350 anos depois de sua morte. O acesso a estes documentos era negado até poucos anos atrás, mesmo aos mais elevados níveis hierárquicos da Igreja. O Cardeal Ratzinger disponibilizou estes arquivos para cientistas. Grande número de constatações puderam ser feitas após esse acesso.
Hoje podemos dizer que a justiça que aqui foi praticada não era pior, mas sim, melhor do que a justiça mundial na mesma época, com julgamentos errôneos, como no caso de Galilei. Nós podemos descobrir que o Vaticano não foi responsável apenas pelos grandes massacres contra as bruxas, mas também funcionou como um freio que procurava introduzir uma verdadeira estrutura de direito, um procedimento que na prática evitou várias sentenças de morte. Eu acho que não se consegue responder a isso em uma única frase. É um fenômeno de grande profundidade, uma tentativa de uma lição especialmente difícil, que é a de defender a continuidade de valores e, ao mesmo tempo, ser justo com as pessoas. Esse é o problema mais complexo e que permanece como pergunta.
Das ist sozusagen das komplizierte Problem, das
Ein friedliches Dorf im Friaul. Hier lebt Domenico Scandella, genannt Menocchio. Ein einfacher Müller, der jedoch lesen kann, für seine Zeit sehr ungewöhnlich. Er liest alles, was er in die Finger bekommt. Das ist nicht viel um das Jahr 1600, doch Menocchio liest und denkt sich sein eigenes Weltbild, so ganz anders, als es in der Bibel steht. Für ihn ist klar, die Luft ist Gott, also ist Gott nichts anderes als ein wenig Atem und was der Mensch sich einbildet. Das behält er nicht für sich. Menocchio nutzt jede Gelegenheit, seine eigenen Theorien unters Volk zu bringen. Und erzählt, so wie aus Milch Käse entsteht unsere Welt aus Erde, Wasser, Luft und Feuer, wenn man nur lange genug rührt. Und wie die Würmer im Käse auftauchen, so tauchen auch die Engel im Himmel auf. Das bleibt der Kirche nicht verborgen. Ein Inquisitor untersucht den Fall. Menocchio wird über Jahre verhört. Schließlich verlangt der Papst
Killing people doesn't seem to us, generally speaking, over ideas, seems to us not to be a very good idea after 2,000 years of history, I mean, of the history of the West as we know it, that is. And generally, so we disapprove deeply of this kind of purgation, but it seems to me it is possible to understand it within the context of its times, and also to understand it within the context, sort of sociology of religion context, understanding how communities react to threats which they regard to be dire or fatal.
This is as part of his defense that he was the first in Venice to publish the Index Librorum Prohibitorum. In response, the tribunal decides to merely fine him and order him to perform penance. The Inquisition's seizure of inventory and the forced closure of his shop for 6 months proves too much for Valgrisi. He chooses to retire and leaves the business to his sons. The flow of illicit books coming into the Italian peninsula all but runs dry. All books written by Protestants are placed on the list. So is the Bible in common languages. In 1606, the entire city of Venice is excommunicated. The Index of Prohibited Books will not be abolished until 1966. For 1,000 years, papal power struggled to preserve the Catholic Church as the world's only true religion. Through rigid doctrine enforced by the powers of the Holy Office of the Inquisition, the Church has reigned supreme. Now that reign has come to an end, its powers rendered impotent by the forces of a changing world.